Efforts to normalize Inha Hospital. Inha Hospital's wages have risen little over the years, citing deficits, and its workforce has been reduced, causing its employees to suffer from hard work. Nevertheless, Inha Hospital employees hoped that the hospital would be normalized as soon as possible, and Hanjin Group and Inha University would operate Inha Hospital more developmentally. On June 13, Inha Hospital's labor union posted an article to Seongnam citizens, claiming that it was a closure that trampled on the survival rights of more than 600 employees and thousands of families. Hanjin Group demanded that Inha Hospital be reborn as a hospital to guarantee Seongnam citizens' right to health and further survival, not as a means of making money. The union also complained that Inha Hospital has sufficient growth potential, but management does nothing, and said that making Inha Hospital a hospital affiliated with Inha University will help the development of the university. The union also demanded the Yale Medical Foundation, which won the hospital ownership dispute, criticizing that the Yale Medical Foundation is just trying to regain ownership without the intention of running the hospital. It urged Hanjin Group to take legal procedures to hand over ownership again and contribute to the normalization of the hospital. However, Inha Hospital announced through the media that it will report its closure on July 10. It has been making intensive management improvement efforts such as reducing and closing medical subjects, voluntary retirement of medical staff, reorganization, and bed reduction, and received KRW 10 billion in funds from Hanjin Group in 2002 and 2003, but was unable to escape the deficit. The union first focused on preventing the closure of Inha Hospital, but had to lead to employment succession if it was impossible to withdraw the closure. This is because the priority was to prevent mass unemployment. Since Inha University Hospital is located in Incheon, a method of employment succession was suggested, but Inha University Hospital and Inha Hospital had different legal personality as school corporations and medical foundations, and this was also not easy because commuting was impossible. Inha Hospital's labor union issued several statements and appealed. Hanjin Group, which is in a hurry to make money, complained that Inha Hospital was closed overnight and insisted that Seongnam citizens' right to health rights. 41 civic groups stepped up to unite with the union, while lawmakers and politicians also moved. Seongnam Mayor Lee Dae-yeop said he would meet Chairman Cho Yen-ho as mayor, and lawmaker Lee Yoon-soo of Sujonggu also said he would arrange a meeting between Chairman Cho and union representatives. Seongnam City Council issued a resolution calling for the withdrawal of the closure of Inha Hospital in Seongnam City and measures for medical facilities in the Old City. In July, the Inha Hospital Union held the Yale Medical Foundation responsible for the closure of Inha Hospital. He said that he had no intention of running the hospital, but caused an ownership dispute with Hanjin Group, which eventually led Inha Hospital to close its business. Until then, the countermeasure committee was not officially launched, and it was operated in the form of a planning group. At that time, civil society played a role in supporting the Inha Hospital union's anti-work closure struggle. Rumors have circulated that the Yale Medical Foundation will regain the site of Inha Hospital and build a residential and commercial complex. Labor unions and civil society organizations decided that if Seongnam City does not approve the change of use of the site, apartment construction will not be possible, and that anyone who can operate the hospital will be able to run Inha Hospital, as politicians and citizens speak in unison. Inha Hospital's labor union that went on strike. Source unknown. Hanjin Group opened Inha University Hospital in Incheon in 1996, and it was evaluated that it focused its investment on Inha University Hospital rather than Inha Hospital in Seongnam, which is suffering from ownership disputes. The Inha Hospital Union claimed that Inha Hospital paid for the establishment cost of Inha University Hospital and the input of medical staff. People who knew the hospital's situation and local residents were also looking at Inha Hospital's poor management from a similar perspective. A few months later, the medical media Youth Doctor wrote down this situation as follows: the efforts made by Inha Hospital in Seongnam to save the hospital reflect the reality that small and medium-sized hospitals are currently facing. In order to improve management, Inha Hospital in Seongnam closed 5 departments for non-profit medical subjects in 2000, reduced 84 wards and 3 departments, and introduced an open hospital system for ophthalmology and otolaryngology. In addition, the number of employees, which reached 737 in 1997, was reduced from 447 in 2003 through restructuring and honorary retirement, while the unpaid leave system was implemented in 1998 and 2000. 200,315 September 15, 2003. On July 4, 2003, the task force before its official launch met with the director of the Yale Medical Foundation, which represents Inha Hospital, who said as follows: "I didn't know Inha Hospital would really go out of business, and I didn't mean to take over. We hope Hanjin Group will continue its Inha Hospital, and will respond whenever Hanjin Group contacts us. I agree with the union and hope it will go well and stabilize employment. Although it is collecting money, it should give more than 10 billion won to Hanjin Group, including Cow Building, to take over ownership. I don't have money yet, so I have to pay interest. We haven't even discussed what to do after taking over Inha Hospital." In short, the Yale Medical Foundation intended to receive compensation for ownership, but it did not intend to take over the hospital. At that time, the Basic Council did not mark the name of the party because it was not a party nomination system. The local council of the Republic of Korea was restored in 1991, but until 2002, there was no party nomination, and lawmakers were unpaid. The party nomination system was introduced to the Basic Council in 2006, and conservative benefits were paid from January 2006. In 2003, it was the 4th council of the Seongnam City Council, and its term was from 2000 to 2006. Political dynamics and effects of the Residence Ordinance Claim Movement focusing on the Seongnam Municipal Hospital Establishment Ordinance Enactment Movement. Park Hyun-hee, Graduate School of Seoul National University, 2007. Until July 10, 2003, the situation at Inha Hospital and Seongnam Hospital can be seen from various perspectives. First, it is layoffs due to the closure of the hospital. People who moved to Inha University Hospital in Incheon when Inha Hospital was closed. In some cases, this was only a small number, and those who lived and worked in Seongnam were in danger of losing their workplaces and living places. In addition, the unilateral decision to close the hospital forced inpatients to move to other hospitals, losing their right to treatment. At the same time, more than 700 beds evaporated to Seongnam Hospital, which decided to change the use and sell the site. 700 patients could not move to Seongnam Central Hospital with 292 diseases at once. In addition, Seongnam Central Hospital is located at the eastern end of Seongnam, making it less accessible than the two hospitals. The change of use and sale of the Seongnam Hospital site was announced to the union after the decision was made, and in the case of Inha Hospital, the results of the trial on the ownership dispute were belatedly known. Both hospitals had branches of the healthcare union, but management did not disclose the company's critical decision to the union. Both hospitals said it was difficult to operate due to deficits, but Inha Hospital has been operating for a long time without investing in facilities. Seongnam Hospital also planned to reduce and relocate and sell the site to earn profits. The closure of these two hospitals showed the reality that medical institutions could close according to profits, which eventually occurred due to the lack of publicity of medical institutions.